How's everyone doing? Let's check out Alti. Let's check out the market, etc. So let's start with the market. Start with the old SPX. Kind of sad no one talks about the Dow anymore. SPX is a better index, so Dow's only 30 stocks. It's antiquated. Well, SPX kind of grinding sideways. SPX is still holding a slight gap from after Thanksgiving. That from between Wednesday and Friday. That's a Thanksgiving gap, and anyway, it's still holding it. And it's a bullish gap, so that's good. Now NASDAQ is still holding the same open gap, and they have some other open ones, so that's also bullish. As long as the open gaps stay open. Now, Russell, this is why I was talking about gaps. Russell is just about to close its gap from Thanksgiving, which just tells us Russell is the weakest link. You are the weakest link. Anyway, there's the Russell gap. If Russell gets underneath the gap, it gets trading underneath it and can't get back above it, basically fallen and it can't get up, then that would, then possibly we could see some selling hit the market. Now, of course, this is just the 30-minute time frame in Russell. And like I say, the SPX and the NASDAQ are strong by comparison. So maybe the NASDAQ and the SPX will pull the Russell up. Who knows? We shall see. All right. So basically it looks like we're grinding today. So let's look at the Altiverse. The Altiverse, we have a few new stocks. We have OKTA. We have Dollar Tree, which is unchanged, it looks like, up one bip. We also have, I believe, Lululemon's is new. Hard to miss Lulu in the lineup. That's one of my all-time favorite stocks, or I've had good luck with that stock before, and I enjoy being in downtown Austin and seeing the attractive people, women wearing Lululemons. You're around enough of those kind of people, you don't need any hymns. All right. DJT's up this morning. Coin's up this morning. Mobileye is killing it. Upstart is killing it. All right. Well, ULTY, the actual fund is down 30 bips, even though the average constituent is up 30 bips, 32 bips. All right, the Alti weightings, we did not update today. The Alti grid, is all callers. And it's been all callers since the Friday before last was the last time when they had a bunch of different trades on. They had an iron condor on, you can see right here in Disney. Once they took that off, then it's been solid callers, everything solid callers, with the exception of Mobileye. Mobileye is this one right here in BLI. They have a call spread on in that one, not a caller. All right, let's look at the single stock buffer report, see what's going on in single stock land, or the index stock buffer report. Well, it's pretty much grinding sideways. These readings are not going to be that significant, but for what it's worth, T-SPY is the best of the bunch. And JEP-I is the worst of the bunch. NASDAQ is really just dead flat, down 3 bips. Well, anyway, the best of the NASDAQ bunch is that AIPI and triple QI, also YMAG. All right, then Russell is actually moving down, and unfortunately, IWMY and IWMI are both tracking it pretty much perfectly on the downside. Now, on the good side, though, ULTY is only down 30 bips, while the Russell, which is one of its two benchmarks that we use to talk about ULTY here, compared to that benchmark, it is definitely beating it. Also, okay, we already have that. We've already talked about IWMY. Now, IVVW is actually a S&P fund, but it's also up today. I forgot to mention it. YBTC looks really good. USOY is really a standout. Look at so USOY trades options in USO. USO is an ETF that trades oil futures from the long side. So you buy USO, it's like buying a continuous futures contract in the United States oil market. I had some content on a few weeks ago. Peter Zeihan said that oil might go to $300, that oil might go to $300 a barrel by the end of the year. A 1 in 5 chance. This was about a month ago. So I showed you guys how to do a trade that takes advantage of it. Well, let's check it out and see how it's doing. I don't think oil, even though oil's moving, I don't think it's moved far enough. So I don't know if anyone has that trade on, but it's an interesting trade. It's called a call ratio back spread. Put it on for $150 credit. Risk about $1,000. But if oil were to go to, say, 120, this trade would be worth $2,500. Anyway, oil's moving up, but it hasn't moved up enough is the good news. But the bad news is it has to move all the way past the valley of death and get above 95 or 100, but then it can make a pretty good deal of money. The other good news is, though, if you're dead wrong about this and oil goes the other way, even if oil drops to zero, you still make $156. I like these types of trades for long shot type things that you don't think will come true, but might. That this is a good way to play it. Call ratio back spread. So be looking for some more content on those types of trades. All right, so now let's talk about the single stock buffer report. But yes, oil's looking great today. We aren't rooting for it to go to $300. Peter Zeihan's an interesting guy, but he says a lot of crazy stuff. Some of it comes true, though, so, I always listen to him, but take it with a grain of salt. All right, NVDY is killing it, outperforming the parent. GDXY looks really good. Not outperforming, but doing very well. Snowy outperforming the parent. That's great to see. Fibby's getting about half the upside. All right, on the bad side, Sky is outperforming on the downside. PyPy is outperforming on the downside. PP, PayPay, whatever. Dizzo's outperforming on the downside. All right, there's a new fund out called Soxy. Here's the stocks that are in it, and here's the weightings of the stocks that are in it. So it's just a fund of semiconductor stocks. So it has ADI, whatever that is, Applied Materials, AMD, ARM, ASML, a little bit of ASX, pretty good amount of Avgo, which is Broadcom, CDNS, INTC, Intel, KLAC, what's this one? Lam Research. That's Lam Research, MCHP, I forget, MPWR. Here's Marvel Technologies, Marvell or Marvel. Micron is MU. Of course, NVIDIA is just a monster. I wonder how they put 20% of NVIDIA, so much more than even the next closest one, but it probably is market cap weighted. So this is what I'm guessing. The second one is probably Taiwan Semi, and I really thought AMD was bigger in Intel. Intel used to be bigger before they got their ass kicked. More in the late 90s, you couldn't do much better than Intel. I mean, for a while there, Texas Instruments, that's an old firm, been around forever. All right. Well, anyway, I have content coming out on that. We're going to look at what they're actually doing and blah, blah, blah. But the two-line don't read is it's a target fund. So it's kind of like, it's a target fund. So it's kind of like the Defiance Fund, SPY-T, in that they set a target. SPY-T sets a 20% target. So once they reach that target, they don't go for any more income, or they intentionally only sell enough options to get that target. What that does is it leaves them a bunch of upside open. SPY-T gets like more upside than WDTE, for instance. Okay, so these are target funds that only pay 12%. This has a lot of the same kind of stocks in it as FEPI, FEPI. FEPI pays 25 or 30%. And gets plenty of upside with these stocks. Okay, I expect this one with similar type of stocks and risk to get only to get 12%. They'll pay what they say they're going to pay, but it should get a lot of upside. It should get even more upside than FEPI, just for comparison purposes, or it should be that type of stock. So this one could be a good one, especially if you want exposure to the semiconductor business. I mean, semiconductors run the economy. Back in the old days, there used to be something called Dow theory. There's the Dow Jones Industrials, Transports, and Utilities. And there was some theory based on something having to do with the transports. When the transports were leading, that because transports were the shipping companies and airlines, and when they were leading, it was it pretended good stuff for the economy. Well, nowadays I would say that is semiconductors. Not that transport's not important also, but semiconductors run everything. I mean, they're in everything from your toaster to jet engines or whatever. All right. Well, that's it for today, guys. I'll be back later. I appreciate you all for being here, and you have a great day. And be looking for the video on SOXY. We'll get into the prospectus and talk about it a little bit, okay? It might be interesting. You guys might like it, right? All right. See ya.